Yes, y'all. Welcome in to episode 143 of the Dumb Marks podcast. It's your boys back at it again. Your favorite Saturday brunch bunch, triple threat edition today. Fellas, what's good? What's crack-a-lacking, as they used to say back in the day?
Happy Saturday, I guess.
Saturday.
I'm gonna need some more enthusiasm out of you today, Jay. Like, I got the fresh crispy ispy up here. Like, we're ready to pod. Let's go. Let's shits and giggles. Let's get it cracking.
Seems we're going to the club tonight.
You got is that a Cody Rhodes hat or is that a Canada hat?
Oh no, that's a Blue Jays hat.
No, so you're representing for Canada Day
I'm defecting.
Last week. You're defecting.
So you're watching AEW while they're up in Canada. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
All in for the tour, huh?
I'll be up in Canada in a couple weeks for vacation. I'm looking forward to it. So got that on the menu on the docket here coming up in about 3 weeks.
I haven't been up to Canada in a while.
Yeah.
Got to take Dumb Marks out on the road.
I'll have the merch on every day, walking around up there like I normally do whenever I go out. We'll see pop up.
Ty kicking it off with the Luigi Primo today.
Thank you, bro. I couldn't log into Twitch fast enough.
Yo, Blue Cane is a complete ripoff of Glacier in WCW, and he wants his gimmick back. Okay? You're not even ripping off Kane. You're ripping off Glacier. You come out with snowflakes falling behind you. You're in the blue and black, standing there all ominous.
So did he legit have the mask?
He
I
did.
seen he had the Kane mask.
Yeah.
That's not.
So is it just because it's blue, it becomes a parody? Is that the whole thing?
Yes,
It's allowed. Okay.
Yes. And instead of fire, it's snow. He has snow powers instead of hell. So, yeah.
So you can't say, "Hey, you stole my whole mask," which is like art.
I mean,
It could be.
And just painted it blue.
I don't know if he just painted it blue or if the mask has if it's different than what Kane's mask actually was, but hey, it's a thing and it got over on Twitter. What's left of Twitter. First off, let's start there. I love pettiness in my pro wrestling, right?
That's what Twitter is.
What I think I love a little bit more is billionaire pettiness, because they just have, fuck you money and they can do whatever they want. So Elon Musk was supposed to fight Mark Zuckerberg, but Elon Musk's mom stepped in and canceled the fight. So Zuckerberg said, "Oh, you want to go get your mommy? I'm going to hire all your old people from Twitter that you let go, and we're going to create threads. And we're going to have 70 million people sign up the first day it launches." Billionaire pettiness is tremendous.
It really is. It's like whenever they announce that, just like all remind me was whenever Bischoff called out Vince at the pay-per-view. Just like it's all this stupid shit is. It ain't ever gonna happen, but we're just gonna hype it up like it's gonna happen.
And it's literally Twitter.
Yeah.
Just called threads.
Twitter light so far.
Also, the app is up and running.
Oh yeah.
They had 70 million people sign up first day it launched.
Right.
I mean, pretty much has a similar look, has the same flow to conversations. There's certain things it doesn't do yet, but in time, I'm sure it'll basically be Twitter at some point.
Is there ass on this app? If so,
3 days.
It's not for
3
me.
days for me to see porn on there.
3 days? I don't need it.
I was just like, I expected to open up the app and just that'd be the first thing I saw. And no, wasn't there. 3 days later, I saw it. I was like,
I can't open Twitter now, like at all. At all.
Speaking of,
so if you have an Instagram account, you can basically move over to a Threads account. So all the people that were on Instagram that you follow, you're good, Jason.
Yeah. Speaking of porn, pause. Chris, my wife hopped on Threads and she hit the follow Dumb Marks and immediately got a follow back, and I was sitting next to her, didn't have my phone or nothing. She's like, "What? How did you follow me back already? You don't even have your phone with you." I'm like, "Oh, that was Chris." She was like, "Damn, he's quick with it. He don't play around. As soon as that notification goes out, he's out there hitting follow back. Let's go."
Exploring in the app, checking things out. So
right, getting that fan base built up. So now we have another platform that we have to pay attention to. I guess we got to narrow shit down. We got to have a Dumb Squad meeting and pick which social media platforms we're going to hit and hit hard. Pause, and then just rock with those. Whatever else comes out, comes out. Other than that,
I just signed up to make sure no one took our handle. That was the main reason why I signed up.
it's a good smart thinking. I like what you did there.
Check it out, see what's going on. Like I signed up for Hive whenever that first came out, and that's done 0. So it's like, don't promote.
Yeah, is that even still a thing?
I think it's still a thing, but I think Threads will end up killing that officially.
Yeah. Pro, love it. Yeah, congrats.
Did
I
I
don't know.
miss
Is
something?
that his fiance or girlfriend? Whatever. They're expecting a baby. Congrats, Riddle, and his. I don't know who she is. I've never heard of her. So
I don't either.
What's the name, bro?
yeah, Jason.
Jason wants to do some research.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the billionaire pettiness this week was tremendous. Luke Kane Glacier-esque light was a thing that got over. Anything else popped up that was just absolute bullshit that like Misha
Okay,
Montana.
I know the name. Okay.
You're gonna find out you already follow her.
Yeah, he's been a fan for like 3 years. Didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
It's bad. People send me stuff, and I'm like, I already followed that. Sorry. I seen it. You didn't see my heart reaction in the bottom corner.
Jason gets those. He gets those OnlyFans updates every month. Like you were the top 5% fan for so and so. That's all it is. He just get the first of the month instead of Jason getting his check. He just gets his top 5% notifications coming across for everybody he follows. Oh, that's tremendous. That's
what Jason should do on the side, just be an admin.
Somebody's moderator. OnlyFans moderator.
Free content.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, that was it. Happy July 4th. I hope you guys all came back 10 fingers and 10 toes.
I know Jason's good.
Yep.
It threw my whole week off. Like on a Tuesday, just
Didn't feel right.
maybe the worst day of the week for it to fall on. Like worked Monday, had to work the rest of the week. Like I was all discombobulated. Pause, big word. At work, just yeah, everything got thrown off. So
They got
I
you.
did absolutely nothing. I cooked out, grilled some chicken. That was about it. But my kids don't like fireworks, so like I literally just chilled, and it was great to just have a day where I did nothing.
Did you sip on some Smirnoff Blue Raspberry?
No. I was drinking. I was drinking our peanut butter, friend,
Okay.
the
You found
screwball. Oh, I went next day and got a whole bottle of it. That fifth, I got to go out today. That fifth's gone. Bad
Got you through the week,
news.
huh?
Yo, it is so good. This is not an ad for Screwball, but if they want to start sponsoring the show, I will gladly do an ad for them every single week.
Yeah.
Jason, we found peanut butter whiskey, and it is the greatest thing ever.
And it tastes like peanut butter.
So we are going to do, like, I'm going to officially make you a whiskey drinker with this.
Mm-hmm.
1,000%.
You won't, but
No.
I think you might.
let's find a
100%.
chocolate something to pair it with.
It
Nope.
kind of has like a hint of chocolate in it.
Mm.
It says strictly peanut butter, but yeah, you're going to get that.
I had Chris drinking it straight, and he's not a whiskey drinker.
Yeah. I don't drink anything straight. Pause.
Yeah. So
Speaking of 4th of July, though, Jason,
What's up?
can we get you to move on from boiling food?
No.
that's
No.
I mean,
you posted that boiling hot dogs were better than
Yeah.
Grilled hot dogs.
grilled hot dogs.
They are. And microwaved are better than
First off, if
Grilled
you
hot dogs.
microwave a hot dog or boil a hot dog,
I'd rather microwave the hot dog over the boiling the hot dog.
You need slapped in the face.
Like who wants burnt fingers on a grill? Nobody. And what did y'all do the next day? Y'all microwave some crusty ass hot dogs, didn't you? Yeah.
I didn't have hot dogs. I had chicken. That was it. We didn't make burgers. We didn't make dogs. I guess I'm not American because I didn't make burgers and dogs for 4th of July. We grilled chicken. Like, I don't know.
I grilled chicken too.
Yeah. Like, I'm definitely not eating a boiled hot dog.
And that's what started the conversation a couple weeks ago. Didn't you say you prefer boiled chicken over grilled chicken?
No, I think I kicked it off the list. But okay. I had boiled chicken. I cooked chicken in the microwave. I've done it all.
Cooked chicken in the microwave?
Yeah.
Yo, how long did that take? 37 minutes? Like,
I know you got an iron stomach. I know you got the iron stomach, but come on now.
You just slap that bad boy in a bowl of water. Let it do its job.
You be drinking that port out of the red Solo cup. It was greatest.
Speaking of drinking, Taquan, I was in your neighborhood and picked up this trash.
I was wondering what you were drinking.
Ooh, punch.
First off, the fact that Rap Snacks even has a drink is just wild to me and mind blowing.
They went from chips to noodles to drinks.
To noodles. I miss noodles.
I didn't get the noodles.
That bootleg Tahitian treat you picked up. Which version of Hawaiian Punch? You're still drinking it. That's horrible.
I might not even finish it because it's trash. I will.
How many did you buy? You're still drinking it.
I just bought one. I took a sip of it yesterday, put it back in the fridge. Like it's lemonade, so it won't flat pop. So yeah, I'd rather have a Sprite right now than drink that shit.
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. All right, pro wrestling. Busy week. We started last Saturday with Money in the Bank. Watched the show, enjoyed the show. I thought the women's ladder match was match of the night.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it was the best women's Money in the Bank match since they started doing them, for sure.
And we got a week without a cash-in. How about that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I love the tease last SmackDown, but
if you listen to Mr. Meltzer, it was like the second lowest rated match on the card. Above Gunther and Riddle.
I don't pay attention to the Meltzer ratings. I never have. I mean, the fact that Kurt Angle has gone his entire career has never gotten a 5-star match from Dave Meltzer just is absolutely atrocious. So yeah, I don't put stock in Meltzer ratings. They mean absolute nothing. And those of you that follow it and take it as gospel, like, you need to find somebody to talk to on a regular basis because that's ridiculous.
He officially, like when they say TV shows jump the shark, whenever he started giving out matches, like 5-star matches, 6 and 7 stars a couple years ago, it's like, all right, dude, you just got to calm down. Like,
well, not only that, didn't he give a Stadium Stampede a 5-star match?
I don't
really ridiculous bullshit.
Probably knowing him, probably was Moxley or Omega in it? Probably.
Pro, you thought SmackDown was lame last night? I do have a complaint about SmackDown, but I'm gonna save that for my jabroni of the week because there was a coin flip as far as jabronis go for me this week, and it's both of my jabronis this week are the shows as a whole, not particular individual segments or people. So that's a little foreshadowing there when we get to jabroni.
Pro, I actually agree with you. Outside of the Bloodline stuff last night, I wasn't really into SmackDown at all.
I wouldn't say lame because it had the Bloodline in it, but you could have kicked everything else out.
Yeah.
There was 3 matches last night?
Yeah. 3 matches. Four matches if you want to count Styles and Cross, which was, I don't even think they got 5 minutes. No.
So yeah.
That match could
we're not going to start we're not going to start with negativity or the bad that was this week in pro wrestling. We'll go Mount Rushmore. Keep it positive, keep it light, upbeat, as we normally do.
And and I do have Donald's. So
okay, well since Donald's not here, the invisible man of the podcast instead of Don Callis' invisible hand of pro wrestling. What do we got for Donald's? I think I know where he's going to go, but I still want to see if I'm right or not.
Did he send a picture we can put up in the corner for the rest of the show at all?
He didn't know. Well, he hasn't got to the beach yet, so we got to wait for that. We see.
He's going
for the beach.
He's going to have that blue tank top cutoff on that he stay rocking, but he's going to have some type of hat on, maybe a do rag,
red shades. Is he bringing that back for the beach?
I think he'll bring the red shades back for the beach. Yeah.
All right, so Donald's Mount Rushmore. Everything in wrestling sucked this week, so we'll start off with that. But my Mount Rushmore belongs to the Creed brothers losing. Glad to see them off NXT now. They were like talking to a wall watching them. Nothing interesting at all. Hope they go to the main roster and get 100% buried.
Okay, first off, I got a lot of grudges
than a Mount Rushmore, but
yeah. First off, rumor has it's an angle, and they're not off NXT yet. They're not off NXT because apparently the higher ups really haven't made a true decision on whether or not they want to call them up. So we may see them back in NXT with like a little caveat is, interference, the person in the mask, blah, 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 when it really lose,
We got a pay-per-view, in 2 weeks, so have a pay-per-view, get back on NXT if you win the match.
I have actually become a really big fan of the Creed brothers. They've won me over. Their moveset is completely unique and different to them. I think both individuals shine in their own ways. They do nice teamwork together, but individually they stand out with their own moveset. I think Julius is going to be the star of the team when they break up eventually. But overall, whether they stay in NXT or go up to the main roster, they're a much needed tag team that can add spark to a division that's lacking. So
they brought me back around off matches alone. I was there for the initial hype before they were running for the tags the first time. Then it was like it got a little lackluster. Then they brought me back around, just matches alone. So I'm a fan.
I'm just going to point out Jason was at the beach last year. Don's at the beach now. Steve's going to Canada.
Hey, I can swim. I learned early on in life. Sorry.
Yeah. I was going to say a comment, but that would have got us canceled.
Were you surprised by the result?
Surprised with them losing the match?
Yeah.
No, I expected them to lose going into it, just with the stipulation. I felt like if they were due for a call up, that it was, they told the right storyline to get them to leave and call up.
It was either that or like due to diet. I mean, the diet has been asking for their release, so it was like, and
they're not getting released. So
yeah,
Sean said, "Hey, I'm not releasing you. Like, either you want to play ball because we do see something in you guys, or we'll just string you along and have you just sitting around in purgatory for however long it's going to be.
Won't be the first time.
Nor will it be the last. So, but no, I thought that was a good match. I enjoyed them. We'll see if they actually do get called up, and if so, when. But regardless of where they go, they're a tag team that can be inserted and actually help improve a division, whether it's on the main roster or still in NXT.
Do you send them up with a manager?
Who would you pick? Someone from NXT or someone that's already established?
I don't know if you would want to go this route because it would be very similar. But do you call Kurt Angle up and say, "Hey," and we have a Charlie Haas Shelton Benjamin 2.0?
You want to be like your boy AW and get bounced the first first month?
I don't think the world's ready for Ty yet on the mic.
That Ty will be like last night in the Garden whenever they put the censorship on the show and Roman was just mouthing like lip talking because they had the crowd was saying, you know, shut the fuck up and all that other stuff. Like Ty would just be 2 hours of that with no subtitles because the subtitles would be bleeped out. You couldn't even put subtitles underneath Ty.
Mm-mm.
So
honestly, wish they still had Bivens.
I mean, Bivens, yeah, like
good.
somebody like that would be great for them. But if they're coming up as a babyface group, then, and honestly, I don't think they would struggle that much on the microphone. Don't give them 10-minute talking segments, but they've shown enough, especially Julius, that he can talk, and there's enough there to get them by for now. Until they get better on the stick. So they do have my interest as far as seeing what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because the Lord knows the tag team division is damn near forgotten. And right now, KO and Sammy aren't even projected to be on SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So go figure. There's 9 matches listed off right now, and they're not one of them.
If they're going to be on NXT, you know, through SummerSlam, we'll say I'd be okay with them coming up because, like Steve just said, the tag team division needs help.
Or we can watch Otis and Gable fight the Viking Raiders.
I'm enjoying Alpha Academy right now.
I mean, I'm enjoying them, but don't put them in matches.
All right. So that's Donald's Mount Rushmore. Who wants to go next?
I'll put mine up with the women's match, Rhea and Natalya.
Mm-hmm.
From what they gave you to what they previously ran you with, I don't even know why they even did this, or why they even did the initial minute squash. Was that in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she fought Zelina in Puerto Rico.
Zelina.
Yeah.
They had her squash on Raw, and
Was that what was the one in Saudi Arabia then? Night of Champions. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, much better.
Natty was on Busted Open. I think it was before. I think it was last week. She was on Busted Open with LaGreca and them, and it was her, Mickey James, LaGreca, and I think it was either Dreamer or Bully. I can't remember, but like she said, I'm one of the best women's wrestlers of all time, hands down, period. Look at my resume. Look at my stats. Look how long I've been in the game. Look at what I can do in the ring when they let me do what I can do in the ring. And it's hard pressed to find somebody to beat me.
That was in the Natty Chris is always telling me about.
Yes.
So
they were in London last week. She got her Guinness World Records. I got them here. They gave her 6 awards.
6.
Mm-hmm.
4 out of the 6 are female related, but 2 of them are just total. She has most Raw matches and most SmackDown matches of any talent. So,
I mean, look, to me, Natty's issue has never been between the bell.
No,
she's just never been that character that's gotten people to latch onto her. And that's what's kept her out of the so-called top tier.
Mm-hmm.
Because bell to bell wise, throw her in there with anybody and give them time, and it's going to be what we saw on Monday night, a banger of a match.
That was one of the best women's matches on regular TV I've seen in a while.
Yeah, and I think it helped because it showed just like that natural aggression in a match.
Yeah,
like wasn't like just a spot.
It was a fight
or anything. Yeah,
it was a fight.
Which the 2 of them can do.
Yeah, I know the rumor is they're pivoting and they're going to do Rhea and Raquel at SummerSlam. It's okay. You still got a month out to build. Not even a month. You got, 3 weeks left? 3.5 weeks? 4
I don't
weeks?
like that with Raquel being tag team champ.
That's wherein lies my jabroni. between them doing that squash match with Nally when you could have had this match and then circling around to Raquel, and she's already in a tag. Like, what are we doing here? You could have put the tag belts on somebody else.
Ronda giving them a hard deadline where I'm out. Screwed them over.
Yeah.
So they had to pull the trigger to heat up to get Ronda Baszler SummerSlam, and that'd be her swan song. If she's done at SummerSlam, it may be a little bit after, but like, yeah,
but you didn't have to circle back to Raquel and Liv.
Who else you got though?
That's hell. I would have seen them like to run Ronda and Shayna back with
Alba,
Katana, and Casey, and have them be the underdogs that get the upset victory.
Or you could have put on DeVille for me.
I see. Well, you can't do heel to heel. That's the only problem. Like I love Sonya and Chelsea as a tag team. Like I hope they're the next ones to take it off Liv and Raquel, because I think they would have a great run with it. But I mean, that's what the women's tag team division has been since it started. They've never really established on the main roster. Now NXT is different. You've had established tag teams in NXT, but
they've been trying.
Now that the belts are unified, you know,
you're not going to see that down the NXT now.
They still had to develop some people.
But give me a heel to heel title change that worked in pro wrestling. Or when's the last time you saw a heel to heel title match? Babyface, yeah, but not heel to heel. So yeah. So Jay, you gave your Mount Rushmore and Jabroni right there.
I mean, yeah.
So the topic was there, so
yeah. All right.
I might be doing the same thing in mine too.
My Mount Rushmore. I was flipping back and forth on it, and I think I'm gonna land. I think I'm gonna give it to Grayson Waller. And like Ed said last night, you know, you were in London rubbing shoulders with John Cena, going back and forth on the mic. Now you're standing across the ring from me on the mic, sink or swim in a match, and they had a hell of a match. And he gave him the props after the match and said, "Hey, kid, you swam. You passed the test." So, I mean, hell, Edge even said it in his promo last night. Clearly, somebody sees something in you. The fact that you're standing with Cena on Saturday and me on Friday.
Yeah.
So all that bullshit that they did with the Grayson Waller effect because he was injured, and I didn't realize he was injured. So
yeah,
now it makes more sense why they did what they did with him once they called him up. But he's cleared, and he wrestled last night. And in a week span, you're rubbing elbows with Cena and Edge. I guess I got to give you my Mount Rushmore. My 1B would be the promo Shayna Baszler cut on Monday night.
Yes.
Because that's the Shayna that I've been wanting since she's been called up. And that's the Shayna that we had in NXT.
Yeah.
And she spit real life facts in a pro wrestling setting, and it made sense. And she got over as the babyface when she's supposed to be the heel.
I was going to ask you, how do you push her going forward?
She could have came out there and been like, "Tell me when I'm telling lies."
And it would have sounded better than it did coming out of CM Punk's mouth.
I mean, I have her line here. We're all pretty sick and tired of hearing you try to speak on a microphone. That's not a heel line.
She did okay on Monday.
I busted my ass on the Indies wrestling in front of 30 people. You walk out and get a match at WrestleMania. Tell me when I'm telling lies. I'm the only person here that could really whoop your ass. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I've been wanting this for a year now. So if they're finally going to push Shayna a bit, cool. Shayna and Rhea, I'm there for that.
Yeah, give me Shayna and Asuka.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, Waller got the one up just because of the fact that it was Cena Edge. You had a match. You didn't fall. You didn't look like you had two left feet out there, and you got the rub. So I'm gonna give it to you this week. But Shayna, all week long, Shayna was gonna be my Mount Rushmore for that promo until I saw what they did with Waller last night. So
Shayna was my 1B. I'm cool with that. Waller, I'm just hoping that now that if he's officially good to go, maybe now the Grayson Waller effect will actually be utilized better on SmackDown. Instead of just being a blow-off segment, now you can do that follow-up like they did last night. Have Edge on, follow it up with a match. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it moving forward now that he's back on the roster officially.
From a on the microphone standpoint, he gets it like clearly. He had it in NXT on the main roster. He had it. You saw the way he played with the crowd in London back and forth with Cena. Didn't stumble, didn't stutter, didn't miss a cue. Like cut them off when he needed to. Like he looked like he's been doing it for a long time. So on the microphone, he's fine. In the ring, I like what he does in the ring. Can he improve? Absolutely. Not sure what type of style he has because he's does a little bit of high flying stuff. He, bigger body guy. The only thing that I wish he would change up is his ring gear.
God damn it.
I absolutely hate his ring gear. It looks Kmart knockoff-ish. Like
take off the boxer trunks.
Take off the boxer trunks.
Pause.
Like, yeah.
Was he a boxer?
I don't know.
Because I think he's trying to make them be like hoop shorts, but it's like
I think
they look like boxing shorts.
Yeah.
Whatever they are, they're not working. And I didn't like it in
crossover
NXT. I don't like it in on the main roster. Like, yeah. Just change up the gear. And I'm sure it'll come with time, but that's the only thing right now.
I like shit, and I want shit.
Hey,
we can either do this the easy way or the hard way.
So yeah, Waller and Baszler. So Chris, you had Baszler at 1B. Who'd you have for your 1A?
I enjoyed the stuff this week with MJF and Adam Cole. I enjoyed the gym segment. I enjoyed the match that they were on, but it's been building up slowly and it's entertained me for the past couple of weeks. But this week, it's like, okay, to me, it was working this week. It's like I'm interested in seeing where this continues.
That was going to be my 1B.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie.
And can we slow down? I saw publications and articles that like were on like Yahoo and whatever talking about AEW has found their D Generation X, Shawn Michaels and Triple. Like, let's just slow down, okay? This is not turning into a faction with Cole and MJF, right? We're building to the match. I didn't
I like something from AEW and Pro. You're saying you didn't like an AEW segment. Is that allowed?
Like those. Now, I will say the only thing that I didn't like was I felt like the birthday stuff went a little bit too long.
Mm-hmm.
The end where MJF gets the cake in the face and Cole takes the icing and whatnot. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. But It just went too long to where
MJF's
I wanted
behind him,
to.
like you think he might turn on him, and it's just
Like I wanted to fast. I fast forwarded through it a little bit, to be honest, because I didn't. First off, I didn't want to hear MJF sing another song. So
my only knock was we just seen this with him and Sammy, so it didn't feel as I felt like we just went through this again. But I enjoyed it.
I mean, yeah, similarly, yes, but I think Cole adds a whole different perspective to it than what Sammy does.
Yeah,
I think I kind of like. It's like I like where Cole's trying to hate MJF, and like MJF's just playing him, but then they get that bond every the past couple weeks of they both hate Tony Schiavone. It's just like it's kind of funny because Cole's just like, wait, do I actually like this guy?
I mean, MJF going so over the top with coming down, doing the boom, and then running around him in the ring, dropping to his knees like Roddy did.
Yeah.
I like the abdominal stretch, reaching out, telling him to grab his hand and pull, and then playing to the crowd to make the crowd get Cole to actually do it and grab on and pull. Like you're getting the babyface to cheat. Like, yay, you know what I mean? Like it has its moments and it works. I just don't. We'll see how long it has.
Yeah.
Because how are you gonna turn it into them two lined up for the match either in Wembley or it all out here or all in, whichever one is here.
All out's here, all in's Wembley.
So how long is the tournament?
We don't even know who's in the tournament completely.
These weren't matches for the tournament?
Yeah, it was for the Eliminator tag.
It's in there, but they're still adding people. They're still drawing balls on Wednesday night.
The bracket's not even complete. Okay.
Yeah.
No, they finished up with the matches last night.
Did they?
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard them say like the next
Rampage.
round, but it's like
Cage and Big Bill, Big Kaz, they beat Matt Sydal and why can't I think of who his partner was? I forget. But anyways, they
best friend dude.
Chucky T.
No, wasn't the other one?
It wasn't Trent.
Oh, I thought it was Trent. Okay, Chuck.
Yeah. And that was actually a good match. And Cage and Big Bill, I like them too as a team. Just big hosses fucking shit up. But because the semifinals are set, so
okay. I haven't seen a bracket yet, but
so it's Cole and MJF. I don't know. I don't know who's
Cassidy and Darby.
Cassidy and Darby are wrestling. I think they're wrestling Cage and Big Bill.
So while we're actually talking about this is actually going to be my jabroni. It's just like there's too many tournaments going on right now. It's like you have 2 tournaments for the Owen Hart, and then you have this going on. And this one, it's not even like their normal tournament. They're just like adding shit as they go each week. The past few weeks of tag teams, like who they're going to put together. Like how am I supposed to care about all of this? There's been some good matches in the tag team tournament, and I've enjoyed some of it, but it's like I can't care about all these tournaments at the same time.
Yeah, that bleeds into my jabronis being SmackDown as a whole, like Pro said, and then Dynamite as a whole. Show for show, which show was worse in total? Because the first hour of Dynamite, I got nothing but Excalibur reading off match card after match card after match card for Rampage, Collision, the tournaments, the Owen Hart tournaments, the tag team blind eliminator tag team tournament, and they literally did it like 7 times in a row. And I'm like, you guys just said this. Like, why are we doing this again? You did it before commercial break. You came back from commercial break. You had the graphics up at the bottom of the screen. Then Excalibur ran through the matches again. And I'm like, dude, like you said, there's no, like, I can't focus on what's on the screen for Dynamite itself because you got all this other fluffy shit going on. and it's just taking up too much airtime for it to be that way. And then the ending of the show, I think they botched that with the Tony Schiavone. We were out of time, and then they went off the air because you barely saw Dark Order get in the ring before they went to black. And I feel like that you needed them to actually be in the ring and stopping Hangman from hitting the chair shot to set up the match for Friday.
Yeah,
that came across from me. They grabbed the chair and they cut the black.
Especially whenever they just start off with the match too. Last night, it's like they could have almost used a little video package in there, like a quick, just something like, "Hey, here's where we ended."
Yeah, and then SmackDown, SmackDown, it was 3 matches, and you gotta cross AJ squash for 4 minutes.
I watched it live. I just didn't care about the matches last night.
The matches, no.
Sheamus and Theory got a 3-segment match, and I forgot all about it.
Yeah,
Sheamus was in the ring. They came back from commercial break or whatever from a montage. Sheamus was already in the ring.
And WWE did the same thing too. They did the 35-minute Bloodline intro segment. They went to commercial with the ambulance leave, and they came back, and what they immediately do? Recap the whole first 35 minutes before they even got to the Sheamus Theory match.
It's like you want to do that later in the show since they were coming back out. Like, hey, here's what you missed earlier. But you don't need a recap right whenever it happens. So WWE does that a lot.
That's why you can set up things for other programs and advanced storylines by what you do on the screen. You don't need to hammer home 19 times in 2 hours who's wrestling who. And I think that's another problem for AEW. We got Dynamite, Rampage, Collision, 3 nights, different people on different shows, different times, different nights, everything else. And they're trying to hammer home the point of who's wrestling who when so many damn times that, like, you're making me not even want to tune in to watch the shows.
Yeah.
So I know Rampage had their 100th episode last night, but at some point, you may want to consider dropping that.
I watched it last night because it was the 100th episode, but I think Rampage is going to be, that will be like the B show. You watch it if you want to watch a match, but
it's the C show. You're better off putting ROH on Friday nights.
Yeah,
possibly. Yeah,
and you have Dynamite, you have Collision, and then you have ROH on Friday nights. Because that way you get the pause break.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad.
And ROH was a good show. Granted, they just announced the first match for the pay-per-view that's in 2 weeks that they've done 0 bill to. But when they did announce it and they did the segment for it, I'm all in on it. So that was another strong contender for Mount Rushmore this week was Claudio and his promo. And when have you ever heard Claudio in a promo be put up for Mount Rushmore?
Also throwing an honorable mention, can I throw in Corbin?
He was. I didn't want to put him up there because Chris would give the eye roll and the
I gave it. Don't worry.
I'm here for this Corbin.
Said no one ever.
You're the only one not on board, man.
No more gimmicks. Burn everything. And look, so he's apparently rumored innuendo. He's apparently in NXT to stay.
Okay.
And they're going to be transitioning some more main roster people, a la, I would think, Mustafa Ali. I don't know why I just butchered that. But you're going to see more talent like that down in NXT to help kind of bridge the gap, so to speak, but also to make them more viable because they really want to push NXT as a third independent brand again.
Which
So it's
isn't
gonna be more
uncommon
like
for developmental because they used to send talent back down there all the time. So
more like a Apollo Crews situation where you stay for the long haul and possibly get drafted back up, and not a Ziggler where you're just down just to. Okay.
Yeah, or like Finn. Finn went back down, had a resurgence, won the NXT title again, did great character work, and now look at him with Judgment Day. So.
So while we're back on NXT, Donald's Jabroni was also on NXT. He said, tons of candidates this week, but my number one is NXT Underground. Felt 100% underwhelming. Hated being in the arena. Least backstage area. Gave it more of a gritty feel.
Just stop reading. Stop reading. He's wrong. That was the best presentation of Raw Underground that they've done. Was what they did on Tuesday night.
I hated some of the camera angles, but I was interested in the match. Even though I don't care about either of the competitors at all, I was interested.
And now Stevenson's taking a break. Is he taking a break because something happened?
I don't know. So he starts and then takes a break right after?
Yeah, literally next day it came out and said Gable Stevenson's taking a break from NXT.
I gotta read this because Donald calls him Kurt Angle Ultralight.
Hey, when he was holding that medal in your boy's face, and Booker was like, "What the hell is that going to do?" Summon the power. Nah.
He was trying to pass him the glove. He's trying to give him the gold medal glove.
Nah. That was my only knock on that match was when he did that.
I like the now you got to be more than just a suplex guy, but hell, Taz made an entire career out of it. So now, if you can work it into a character and a gimmick, then okay, I'll rock with you.
Brock's still living that gimmick.
Did Taquan, is that real life? I didn't see anything. I just saw that he was going to be taking a break, and I didn't see anything else. So
I think that was a while ago.
It was a while ago, or is there new ones?
I don't know. I think probably passed, but Ty, if you know more, let us know.
I mean, we'll see. Yeah. So like, what stood out to me, but the rest of the stuff this week just all kind of blended together.
Mm-hmm.
No new. Okay. No
Some from 2019. That was brought up a couple years ago.
Yeah, I can't say that it was like everything hit this week. There were some hits and misses, but.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited for Blood and Guts? And the debut of Kota Ibushi in AEW? Because that's where we're going, right?
Why can't it just be 4-on-4? If this is BCC versus the Elite, why do we have to bring in extra people?
Teams of 5 stay alive. I don't know. Like
just do 4-on-4. It's been done before. Just keep it that way and make it like the true teams.
I don't know, man. We'll see. I think they got it. Like, you're pushing these 5 people stables to build to Blood and Guts every year, and I think each year that you've done it, it felt less and less important.
There's always someone that got injured before the match.
Like, this one has the least amount of investment from me than the other 2.
We knew we were going to get here, but it's been a long road to get here. It's like they've done so much shit, so it's like died off along the way.
It's been on and off, hot and cold, and everything else, and you got an ROH champion that's involved in this. Like, it just speaking of that, he is facing Mark Briscoe at the pay-per-view for the ROH World Title. So that was the amount that was announced on Thursday for the pay-per-view.
Any other
Claudio
matches get announced yet?
No, just that one. Claudio did cut a hell of a promo and immediately got me invested in the match. So I'm here for the Mark Briscoe reach for the sky sentimental victory type deal because of who he is in ROH and what he's done there. And it's time for Claudio to drop the belt and just stick with the BCC. So we'll see if we get that feel-good moment there because we didn't get it when Briscoe wrestled for was it the TV title against Joe?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll see there.
I haven't been keeping up with Ring of Honor weekly, but I'll check it out. I'll check out the event whenever it happens.
And you know what else? Like, and it just added to the show not being good on Wednesday night. Did you catch what happened at the end of the Ruby and Britt match when they got up on the ramp? So
I don't remember.
Ruby, like they do the finish right where Saraya and Tony grab Ruby's arm and they pin Britt.
Oh, blue.
Then they skate out the ring, run up the ramp. They celebrate. Tony and Saraya go through the tunnel, and as soon as they go through the tunnel, Sky Blue comes out the same tunnel to have the face-off. And it's all caught on camera.
Oh, the same side?
Yeah, the same side. It's like, so wait, you just
who went
by?
Who was the wrong tunnel?
And they did nothing? Like...
Well, she came out this side.
Left side?
No, the right side. Like when you're looking at Ruby, they had the camera on Ruby, and Sky came out of the tunnel on the right. You're right when you're looking at the
reverse.
Okay.
Okay.
And they left through that tunnel. So they passed.
So they went out the wrong tunnel.
Yeah.
But it's just like you don't put that on. You don't shoot that on TV like that because it's like, oh, so the stable just walked by her opponent that she's wrestling in the next round of the Owen Hart tournament and just said, oh yeah, hey, good luck with your face off. Go ahead out there, stand across our girl. We won't do nothing to you.
They need to get rid of the left side, right side shit.
It's like production wise, they still have those like brand new company LOL TNA moments that people shitted on TNA for how long for, and it's like you're not burying AEW when they do that dumb shit. So yeah, we'll see. A lot coming up the next couple weeks. I don't know if it's just because we're like in the middle of July right now or what. You know, dog days of summer are coming up, etc. But like, with all this damn wrestling 7 nights a week, I'm literally starting to get wrestling fatigue.
Starting?
I've held out a really long time.
You have.
I have. But now, like this week,
I've been feeling it for a while now.
Yeah, this week especially, like, and then next weekend, like you got Collision Saturday, you got Slammiversary for Impact Saturday night. Like they've been building to that. That card looks good. I'll give predictions on that pay-per-view next week since my other 3 co-hosts don't watch Impact at all. So I'll do a little rundown of the card and give my predictions. But yeah, it's just like I'm like this Mount Rushmore shit. Like, since there's 4 of us, we might need to pick like each of us take a show and give a Mount Rushmore and a jabroni from that show, and then we discuss based off of because trying to watch this shit. I don't know how Pro does it, you know, for all them hours each week on his live shows.
It's rough. It's like I try not to watch a lot of it live now, but it's like if I don't watch it live, then I take that chance of I'm not going to watch it then.
That's not nitpicky, Pro. That's just don't shoot dumb shit in your production. That's like a movie based, you know, in the 1800s, but yet you got Starbucks cups laying around on set and in shots. So yeah. But that's Mount Rushmore and Jabroni of the week for pro wrestling this week. Like I said, we got a lot coming up. It's like a lot of pay-per-view, big time pay-per-views back to back coming up here.
Because I think it's the week after is Ring of Honor, right? Or is that NXT?
We got
or is that both the same?
Slammiversary's the 15th.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor's the 21st. NXT, I think, is the 30th.
Okay, so one each weekend then.
SummerSlam is the
following
5th.
Weekend then. Yeah.
Then you got All Out or All In the 27th. The following week is All Out, Labor Day. Payback is
the following.
The 2nd, September 2nd. They announced, what was it, Fastlane and Indy? That's in October.
Yeah.
And then you got the year-end stuff where you got, Full Gear, Survivor Series. There's another Saudi show lined up. Like,
I think that's November 4th, I heard.
Yeah. So,
they just announced Survivor Series, which will be, I think, November 25th. Dynamite's doing Grand Slam again in September. I think that's the 20th. So there's a lot.
I know people are bitching about ratings and whatnot, and we saw Coach get into it with Dax and a bunch of other people about Saturday wrestling shows with ratings and everything else, and then people putting out the DVR ratings that came through with, so it bumped the numbers up and everything. It's like, yo, it's not 1998. Like, ratings are what they are, but there's so many more ways to watch content, and people are going to watch it when they want to watch it based on how they want to watch it. The networks are happy, so be it. And apparently, Billy Corgan got an announcement coming up here with NWA with TV and streaming deal.
Yeah.
Not that anybody watches the NWA anymore because Tyrus is still their freaking champion.
I have my guess on where they're heading, but we can discuss that offline.
I think they're going to Rumble, but I could be wrong.
Rumble? What's that?
Yeah. The streaming platform.
Not familiar with that one.
So we'll see.
They're not going to Pro Wrestling TV?
Maybe. Who knows? All right. So, Chris, you put out a homework assignment for a little game this week. And lay this out, and then I want to ask a question before we throw this out there.
All right. So the homework assignment this week was to create a faction. It can be 5 people total, combined of any men, could be all men, all women, or a combination of the two. But you has to be from the time that you started watching wrestling. So none of us were watching wrestling during the Bruno Sammartino era, so you can't put like Bruno Sammartino in your group. If you pick a manager, they will count as one of your 5, and you have to give the faction a name. Steve, you have questions?
Just one question.
Okay.
And I wanted to see, and this may be just my mind going through this, but when you were trying to come up with your faction, did you find it that you were, as you were sorting out and picking wrestlers, like that you had a hard time with people that weren't faction-based wrestlers? Like, a la, for an example, i.e. John Cena. Like, to me, I'm not going to put John Cena in a faction because Cena is not a faction wrestler. And I know it's create a faction, but at the same time, as I'm looking at these people, I'm like, I'm not putting Cena in a faction. Like, I'm not going to put Taz in a faction. Like, I'm not going to put,
Taz technically was in a faction briefly, wasn't he? Wasn't he briefly in the main event mafia? Kind of like as a manager, but
yeah. But like, there were certain people that
and Aces and Eights. He wasn't Aces and Eights.
Yeah. But he didn't really do nothing Aces and Eights. He was
wasn't as a wrestler for either one of them.
But you know what I mean? Like, there were certain people as I was going through that were like obvious choices, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, I don't want to build this faction of just like top individual wrestlers. Like, I want it to be a faction that feels like a faction. You know, like the Four Horsemen felt like a faction, even though Flair was Flair, but it still felt like a faction.
I didn't go down that road. I would more for me. I kept going back and forth. It was just like, okay, there's certain people I want. Like, do I want to be all people I like? Do I want to be? Then I'd go into it and be like, well, all these people they held this title. Okay, so do I just want the faction to be people that held this title instead? And then it's just like, well, that all these people won all these titles. Do I want to be about that instead? So I kept like going back and forth on how I wanted to actually group them together.
Yeah, so I went off script, so to speak. So like if you were, you know, I don't really have any number one seeds. I think I may have one number one seed in my faction. If you're gonna like seed people out, like I picked dark horses, Cinderellas, and like people that I think would fit as a group.
Off the cuff like that, dude.
I don't even want to read my faction now. Like Taco just stole this entire segment. You should have waited to put that graphic up on screen, because I don't think we're going to be able to top that. It wasn't me, and they all come out to Shaggy's song. It wasn't me. All right, Chris. Well, who you want to go first, since this was your idea and your creation?
I can, and then I also have Donald's too. So,
well, read Donald's first. The invisible man of this podcast, like the invisible hand, Don Callis.
Right. So, I'm just going to read them in order as Donald sent them, and then we'll get into it. His is 20. His number one is 2015 Rainmaker. He was a great heel at the time of his career and completely wrecked everyone at that point. 1989 Macho Man Randy Savage. He just turned heel for the first time. His promos and work in the ring at this point are some of his very best. Current Will Ospreay, and in Donald's opinion, the best wrestler in the world right now. That's a bold statement. He can outflash you in the air, and he can out-wrestle you on the ground, and to throw a cherry on top, he can get you on the mic as well. That's a stretch, Donald. That's a stretch. 2015 NXT Sasha Banks, the top woman that performed a heel gimmick to perfection. No one could touch her at this point of time, even the guys. I miss this version of her very much. And his wild card, 2013 John McChesney from the IWC here in Pittsburgh. I figured you'd like that, Jason. His independent wild card. Reason I picked him was for his mic skills and connection he had with the audience. This was MJF before MJF. Plus, he came out to Manny Fresh real big. Faction name
just for big timers. That's it. That's the only reason he picked it.
Faction name is Cauterize, and he gave a motto. He went above. He gave the extra credit for this homework assignment. Motto is: "We burn you through the air, mat, and mic."
Okay, that's lame. That stable name is lame, and the tagline for the stable is even lamer.
This man sounds like he plays 2K WWE all day. Like he put too much thought to that.
And I didn't give years for the wrestler whenever I selected them. I didn't like. Was that part of the homework assignment that we had to specifically state a year for the wrestler?
If you wanted to, I put that. You could, if you want a specific time, like I said.
No,
if you
when
want,
he
like,
does research,
he does research. You could specify that.
He would have made a great CSI if he would have stuck with it.
All right, you want me to go
so
with mine?
Cauterize. Well, Cauterize definitely doesn't live up to "It Wasn't Me." So,
all right. So mine, it was starting like I started the list where it was going to be just like Intercontinental champions, and I moved to like Grand Slam champions, and then just talent that are some of my favorites in pro wrestling is where kind of.
So Rey Mysterio is in your faction. Got it.
Rey Mysterio, Baron Corbin.
John
Moxley,
Moxley,
yeah.
Priest, yeah, nice. Okay.
I'm going Mr. Perfect. Intercontinental title run around the 90s, solidified him. That's whenever I started. So one of my favorite wrestlers. Got to go with AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Seth Rollins, and of course Bryan Danielson. And I'd call them acumen. Mostly, if you don't know the definition, the ability to make good decisions and judgments quickly.
Mhm.
So all they need is the mouthpiece is the genius, but you ran out of 5 people, or Dean Douglas to be the stable head there.
I was kind of thinking more if you took Bryan Danielson now on the mic, like, kind of like his aggressiveness right now, and I feel like he could be a good mouthpiece with them right now for that type of group.
So,
I was even thinking, like, for some of them, like I was talking about, like Mr. Perfect in the 90s, AJ Styles. I was kind of thinking, you know, whenever he was at his best, like when TNA was on fire, like 2005-ish. Kurt Angle, like the wrestling machine, as he was like an ECW and transitioned to TNA at that point. Like those were kind of like some of the gimmicks I was thinking of whenever I was picking them.
I mean, I'm not mad at it. You and Donald both have a person in your stable that's in mind, so I'm like kind of interested to hear where Jason goes. And this is going to be an all WWE list for Jason.
oh, it is. No, it's not. It's not.
Put any other people.
So I had the privilege of misreading the text. Not really, but when you sent it in the phone, it said until you started watching wrestling, and that's what I read. I read like the notification bubble that popped up.
Okay.
When you started watching wrestling, so I was building this whole thing to like because I just read the notification when you started wrestling. So that cut off everybody from the 90s or from like the late 90s on.
So you were thinking like it couldn't be as you've watched.
Yeah, then I read the text and
okay.
like onward. I'm like, you know what? Nope, I already built this list. I'm good.
Okay.
But you did the reverse stable. You did the stable of people before you started watching wrestling.
No, when you started. So I took
just from that time.
Yeah, just from that time period.
Okay.
Yeah. So
this could be interesting.
So I went.
What year did you start?
80 something. 80ish.
Like WrestleMania. Like, what do you think was like the first WrestleMania you saw?
Oh, Hogan and Warrior was the first. No,
okay.
Hogan and Andre was the first.
Three. Okay. Wow. Okay.
So I went Hogan.
Hogan
is my top guy. Stinger is my mid card guy. Road Warriors is my tag. That's 2. Everybody's wearing face paint but Hogan. So then I was jockeying between either an enforcer, a mouthpiece, or a guy to take the pin. If it was taking the pin, it was going to be Night Train. If it was Night Train, he was a guy from WCW.
Hold on. Night Train was what, Jay?
Huh?
Night Train was what?
Night Train was what? WCW. What? Wrestler?
No. Night Train. What ethnicity was
Damn
Night Train? Huh? You got the black guy taking the pin? Taquan.
First one eliminated in the movies.
But that's not my faction.
Okay.
If I needed to enforce it, was going to be the Giant or Andre the Giant, but I'm going with the stable. I'm going with the manager, so I'm going to pick Sensational Sherry. Just because she had face paint.
Hogan, Sting, Road Warriors, and Sherry.
Okay.
Literally everybody has face paint but Hogan.
Yes. That's why it stands out.
Stable name.
The Unbeaten.
Did you get that one last night off of Chris Statlander?
I just came up with that name right now. I couldn't think of a name. It's so hard to pick a name for a stable.
Statlander did last night. I think she thought of it on the spot. She was like, defeater of the undefeated.
Oh.
Yeah. She looked at her name and was just like, that would make a good shirt. Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. Drop me out real quick.
He's going to research his list again.
Do more homework. While he's doing that, Pro says, guys, I need your favorite WrestleMania matches. Pro, I did send you mine. I gave you Shawn and Brett from WrestleMania 12, the Iron Man match. Jason, do you have a favorite WrestleMania match?
A favorite? Off top, Undertaker and HBK.
25 or 26?
The white or light in the dark.
25.
25. I'm not good with on the spot topics.
That's kind of why for the faction I wanted to give it a little bit as homework. Whenever I was trying to think of it, I was like, because at least it's kind of hard to come up with a complete faction on the spot and a name. But
yeah,
I'm trying to think of some other WrestleMania matches that we can.
Was
Bert says he's watching all the matches right now.
So
you're going to give the list of kind of watch what everybody's saying and then give a list of what you think the definitive matches are.
Who was it? The triple threat, was that WrestleMania with
Triple H? What are we talking about?
Triple H, Benoit, and
that was 20.
That was 20.
Main event 20. Yeah.
Who was the other person?
HBK.
HBK. Yeah. That match. I really enjoyed that.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Pro, I've been thinking about WrestleMania matches, but when's the deadline for this turn in? Because I'm having a hard time picking just one. So if you give me a deadline date, I'll give it to you. But I'm having a hard time picking just one WrestleMania match.
Do you want multiple matches from us? Because I can
I'll tweet y'all some more. I'll give you all. Yeah. Just go watch WrestleMania 1 through 40.
40 hasn't happened yet, but watch it.
All right, so I like I said, I went into this with the precursor of I wanted to feel like a stable and not just individual wrestlers in a stable.
Okay.
Now, like I said, Chris, you had a person that's on my stable. Donald had a person that's in my stable. The one that Donald had is probably no. The one that Donald had is probably The one that Donald had is probably, I would say, the one that is the most like individual wrestler that's in my stable, to where like it kind of went against my own criteria here. But we'll see. And I did it as a heel stable, so no baby faces in my stable. Okay, so I got Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, right? I got Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks. Those were the two, one from each list, right? I got Samoa Joe as my enforcer, and I was debating between enforcer and tag team because I really wanted to put heel FTR on here or Harlem Heat, but I decided to go all individuals and leave the tag teams off the stable.
Okay.
So Mr. Perfect, Samoa Joe, Mercedes / Sasha Banks, Owen Hart, and then Nick Aldis.
Okay.
And the reason why, because they're the standard of pro wrestling. The standard is the standard, and we are the standard.
Where's Shelton Benjamin?
The gold standard.
No, off the list. He's the gold standard. But yeah, so that's where I went. If you had to pick gimmick wise, like Aldis, his entire NWA title run was just phenomenal. Like, put him as the top guy in the group, right? If you're gonna rank them, so to speak. But that version of Nick Aldis on the microphone in the ring, tremendous, hands down. Owen Hart is Owen Hart, one of the best technical wrestlers there is, hands down. Could do anything and everything in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes, Sasha, enough said. Don't even need to explain it with her. She's my number one women's wrestler all time. Samoa Joe, that power, seriousness, edge, but he could also get in there and go mat move for mat move with you. And then Mr. Perfect, one of the smoothest in the ring ever. Hold for hold.
I might not beat any of your factions, but I'll beat you in backstage promos. Okay.
I don't know. You might like too. Got some power on yours.
It was because like I had Danielson on there because I kind of wanted, like, I had Danielson. I thought of Dean Malenko. Eddie, Randy Orton. Like I wanted, you know, when you're given a faction name as the standard, you want it to be, you know, people that are looked at as arguably the best wrestlers in the world. Um, and I feel at certain periods in time, each one of those people you could earmark as being one of the best, or like in Kurt Henning's case, look back as, oh, he was definitely one of the best, even though he didn't win the heavyweight title or anything like that. You know what I mean? So
he had that workhorse title though at the time. He was the guy without being the guy.
Right. And just the smoothness, the cockiness, the fucking gum spit, you know, the throwing the towel behind the back, landing on the referee's shoulder, like just so
or
much
Heenan
technology.
catching everything perfectly.
So good. So good. Yeah, so good.
So this just kind of popped in my mind. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever watched like WWE's like Ultimate List when they do that online. So it's like they always come up with people and they kind of like make a match afterwards and like and who will win. And we're not going to do that now. But I was like, we should take all this whenever it comes to Survivor Series. We got 4 of us and then make an Ultimate Survivor Series match.
Teams of 5 stay alive.
Yeah.
Somebody build this out with our factions in 2K23 and throw it in the simulator and see which faction wins.
We'll have those guys on the list. So,
all right.
Pro, I'm gonna add 2 women's matches. I'm gonna add Sasha and Bianca WrestleMania, and then Rhea and Charlotte from this year.
From this year. Sasha Bianca, I definitely agree with.
I'm gonna go Hogan and Yokozuna, WrestleMania 9.
If you haven't watched that one, Pro, go back and watch it.
Don't do that. Don't waste your time, Pro. Don't waste your time. I'm being an asshole. Don't waste your time.
Watch the first. You gotta watch Bret Hart and Yoko first, and then watch that match. So you really get pissed off with it.
Yeah. All right. Anybody got anything else?
I think I got everything from. If nothing else, guys, head over to Spotify, give us a listen on there, get our numbers up. And of course, follow us at DumbMarksPod on our social media, including Threads. We'll see how that goes in the coming weeks. See if we keep that going, or if it dies off, or if it does replace Twitter or not, since we talked about it earlier. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't see anybody buy anything from the Pro Wrestling Tees sale from this past week, but head over to ProWrestlingTees.com/DumbMarksPod and purchase our merch.
Yeah, if I'm buying from it, I'm not gonna be cheap and buy it when it's on sale, since it's our money going to our show. So I'll pay full price. Which I do got to order some extra stuff. I got the old school shirt on today, but yeah. So, all right, power of positivity. Leaving you guys off with a quote of the week. And this quote of the week, what do they call it? Where you write out the word this way and each letter stands for something.
Anagram? No,
that might be it.
Is that what it? I don't know. I got a name in English, but I can't remember what the fuck that's called.
Same.
But anyways,
I almost failed English.
But anyways, this quote of the week is you think of it in that way, right? The word going down and then each letter, right? So it is July. Just be you, because you are unique, worthy, and amazing. Live every day to the fullest, as you deserve all the good in life. Just be you, because you are unique, worthy, and amazing. Live every day to the fullest, as you deserve all the good in life. And with that being said, make July the best month of the year. Until next time, I'm a Mark, you're a Mark Telemark, and y'all can catch us around the way.